Gorman. I am a founding member of Save Our Seas and Shores Coalition, and I live in a tiny coastal community called Miragamish in Nova Scotia on the Gulf of St. Lawrence. My mother used to tell me that I could swim before I could walk. The Gulf means absolutely everything to me. And when I get into the water of the Gulf of St. Lawrence and swim in the summertime, I feel so connected to the entire world, and I feel such a sense of awe and gratitude for this amazing body of water that my grandfather and great-grandfather and their fathers and mothers swam in before me. It's the same waters that splash up on our shores, and I don't think I could live without being able to swim in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Of course I favor my home and where I came from, but the Gulf of St. Lawrence, I've been through a lot of it, and it is one of the most stunningly beautiful places on this earth. The Gulf of St. Lawrence is in such a vulnerable state right now because of the counterclockwise currents and the fact that the water only flushes into the Atlantic once a year. The Gulf is suffering from too much acidification. There's too much carbon going into it. It's suffering from hypoxia. And it seems absolutely mind-boggling and senseless to me that politicians would even think of endangering renewable resources, such as our tourism and fishery industries, and the spectacular beauty that we in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island and Quebec and Newfoundland and New Brunswick, we are so privileged to be able to live in such an incredibly beautiful region of the world. And my worst fear is that it would be over. It would be over for our tourism industries, and it will be over for our fisheries industry. I have followed what's happened in the Gulf of Mexico, even though the mainstream media does not get a lot of information out. Through social media, there is ample science, ample testimonial evidence to show the shrimp coming up with no eyes, the social destruction, families being destroyed, domestic violence increasing. They're still coming up with they came up with a 4,000-pound tarmac just about a week ago. The list goes on and on and on, and I cannot think of anything worse than losing the beauty that is the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the fisheries and our tourism industries that support that. That is my worst fear. That is what propels me to function as a volunteer on a virtual full-time basis, just to stop this short-term amoral insanity that I believe is this poorly conceived notion of drilling in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. I have been working on this issue on and off for almost 15 years, and I still have not wrapped my head around how we could even be having to go through this. I don't understand why our government leaders and our politicians seem to take nature and that which gives us life for granted, why there is not more respect to honor and protect that which has been so abundant and generous to the human species. It just blows my mind that we're even considering violating such a sensitive region when fossil fuels are so outdated. We have more bitumen coming out of the tar sands than we know what to do with, or we don't even know how to get rid of it anymore. And yet we're going to take a chance and risk renewable species to access non-renewable. To me, there's something disconnected there that people could even think of such a short-term exploitive idea that makes no sense at all.